And here it is, the moment we've been waiting for, as Amos Hart is named the brand new head coach of TSV 1860 Munich. 6,000 pounds a week for the next 2 years is the contract that we've signed. And if you remember from the introductory video, we've got a bit of a challenge ahead of us as we are going to be using the roster and staff that are in place. Now, there are going to be some caveats. If we receive an offer for a player that we deem to be appropriate, we will sell him. If there is a coaching vacancy, we will fill it, but we are not going to be actively moving players in or out during this initial summer transfer window. So let's take a look at the team. Financially, we're not in the greatest shape. We are insecure. We do have a technical director and an assistant coach already in place. The media has predicted us to come in third place this season. Let's see if we can meet those expectations. We don't have any transfer budget to speak of anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we do have a payroll budget of just under £77,000 a week. It looks like our preferred formation is going to be a 4-2-3-1, and that suits us very, very well. Let's take a look at the team as it stands right now. In goal, we have Marco Hiller, a 25-year-old German standing at 6'2", 196 pounds, who has made 164 appearances on the senior squad for 1860 Munich. Looks like a very solid, serviceable goalkeeper, and he's going to be our primary line of defense. In front of him, on the left wing, Philipp Steinhardt, 29 years old from Germany on 2,100 pounds a week. Decent with the crossing, could use a little bit of extra speed with the way that we like to play, so we might be looking to upgrade this position come January. But right now he is adequate as a defender, he's adequate as a passer, and he is overall going to be just fine. Next to him is the 26-year-old Dutchman Jesper Verlaat, standing at 6'4", 196 pounds. He's a strong kid, very composed, and man, can he jump. His defensive partner to his right is the German Tim Reeder, 28 years old, on 3,400 pounds a week. He's deemed an important player to the squad, so we're going to be seeing a lot of him in action, standing at 6'1", 169 pounds, almost as strong as Verlaat is. He can jump, he can head, he can mark, he can do everything we need to do. So right now, the defense is starting to look like it may be one of our assets here as we start to climb the German ladder. And rounding out our back four is the 24-year-old German Christopher Lannert, standing at 5'11", a bit more of an attacking player than Steinhardt on the other side. And I'm already starting to imagine what our tactic is going to look like as we head into our first season here at 1860 Munich. Moving into our midfield, we have the 31-year-old Kieran Moll out of Germany, 2,100 pounds a week, 6 foot, 176 pounds. Looking at his numbers, nothing really stands out as stellar, but he's one of those solid workhorse type players that you need to succeed in FM23, manning your midfield. And next to him, wearing the number 20, the 27-year-old German Yannick Deichmann, only making 500 pounds a week. And again, a good, if not spectacular player. He's going to be another midfield workhorse. Looks like to be both defensive and offensive minded. He's one of those jack of all trades type of midfielders. Moving into attack on the left wing is Fabian Greilinger. He's one of our breakthrough prospects. 21 years old out of Germany, standing at 5'9". He's got speed and he's got a good sense when he's got the ball, so he's going to slot right in and play very well in the system that I'm starting to cook up. On the other side of the field is number 9, Albion Varenzi, out of Kosovo. He's going to be one of our absolute key players, totally offensive-minded. He can move the ball. He's got speed. He's got fitness. He's got power. I like this guy. And up the middle, we have Raphael Holzhauer. He may not be the fastest guy, but he is strong, and he looks like he is the quintessential playmaker for this squad. It looks like the offense is going to be running through him. And finally up top, another youngster, 22-year-old German Finn Lockenmacher, who is what he is, an offensive player whose only job is going to be to put the ball into the back of the net, and it looks like it's something that Finn does pretty well. And taking a look at the board expectations, they seem to be very much in line with what we are trying to achieve in this save personally. They want us to reach the playoffs by the end of this year and also be competitive in the Cup and the DFB Pokal, and also work towards repairing the club's financial damage. As we mentioned earlier, we are in an insecure financial position. I believe there are loan payments that are going to need to start being paid this year. By the end of our contract at the end of next season, they're hoping we have gained automatic promotion to the second Bundesliga, and I do too, because the longer we spend in the liga, the harder it's going to be for us to climb out of that, especially as we're working on repairing our financial situation. It's going to be much easier if we are able to get up to the next level. And then they just want us to remain in the second Bundesliga before becoming an established team. And then eventually, it doesn't say it here, but obviously our goal is to make it all the way back to the Bundesliga. And of course, the supporters are very much in line with the board. They also want us to reach the playoffs in the league this year. They'd also like to see us develop players using our club's youth system, which is going to be extraordinarily important as we make our way up the German ladder. And they also want us to be competitive against our rivals. So Bochum and Augsburg, if we play against them, they just want to see us do well. Taking a quick peek at our supporter profile, they do have a moderate influence over our board. 12% of our fans are hardcore, 37% core, 18% family, 14% fair weather. We do have 3% corporate fans, which is good to see at this level. And 16% of our fan base deems themselves as casual. We have just under 170,000 social media followers, 11,860 current season ticket holders, but there's nobody on the waiting list. I'm just taking a very quick look at some of the rules for the league we are playing in. The squad must have no more than 3 non-EU players. At least 12 German players must be on the squad, and the match squad must have at least 4 domestic U23 players. Other than that, we can have as many members of the squad as we want. We do have a reserve team as well to take advantage of, where we can kind of stash players, cultivate them in any way that we need to. And as you know, with Football Manager 23, you must set up a tactic right away. So we're going to go with a wing play. It's suggested by our assistant coach because he feels that it best fits our squad. Now, we're going to just set this up very quickly. We're going to end up refining the tactic through the 6 friendlies I believe we already have on the schedule before we play our first league game about a month from now. Of course, we are going to use the 4-2-3-1 because that is the preferred formation that they've already been using. In the interest of expediency, we're just going to do a quick pick there. We're going to throw some players in there. We're going to say, there we go, we've set up our tactic. As I said, we're going to refine that as we make our way through the preseason. Looking at our coaching staff, it appears we have a number of vacancies. We have the opportunity to sign a head performance analyst, 3 performance analysts to work under them, and 2 coaches. On the recruitment side, we can sign a general manager. We do have 1 more scout than we need, so we'll take a look at our scouting staff in just a second and see if maybe we can bump them up to chief scout because we don't have one of those right now. And we also have room for 2 recruitment analysts. And on the medical staff, we still need a head physio, a head of sports science, and a sports scientist. So those are all jobs that we can fill. Now, we are going to do, I did not mention earlier, we're not going to do searches for the best guy to fill the position. We are not going to be using the search feature. We are going to be placing adverts just like the good old days. It looks like the main area that we can bolster with one of those 2 coaching slots is in the goalkeeping area. Harold Huber does a decent job all by himself. Right now, we're hanging out around the average. We want to get that up as high as humanly possible because that is going to be the best and fastest way for us to get out of this league and into the next one. One of the features I do like in FM23 is the staff meeting. Now, I've set mine up for every 2 weeks, and they may make our lives just a little bit easier because one of the caveats, I guess you could say, about us not signing anybody or making sure we advertise, if our coaching staff does present us with a suitable candidate and we can hire them, then we will. And Wolfgang Wimmer appears to be that suitable candidate for the role of goalkeeper coach. Excellent distribution, handling, and shot-stopping teaching. We are going to do our best to get him signed. Now, if you do follow me on Twitch, if you watch the stream, you know that I never offer a guy the money that he's looking for. We always try to knock that down a little bit, save the club a little bit of money. So he's coming in looking for a 2-year deal at £575 a week. We're going to try to secure him at $450, and we're going to knock him up to 3 years. We will give him a raise if we get promoted, but we're going to inch that down to 30%. All right, he's not taking any of that. He's fine with the 3 years. Now we're going to drop him to 500. I think we're going to have to stay at like 40% maybe, and he'll take that. We just got ourselves a new goalkeeper coach. They've also put in front of us Mario Bungner. He's a general manager candidate. Doesn't really play our preferred style, and he's kind of okay. His player judgment is kind of meh. His negotiating skills, not too bad. I think we are still going to take a look and see what we can get out on the open market. So we're going to throw him on our short list for the next couple of months. We're going to keep him kind of on the back burner, and we'll see what happens. And as we try to fill our head physio position, we don't need to look really any further than our own staff. Nick Worrian's been with the club since 2016. Loves our formation. He's got an 18 in physiotherapy. He's currently making £425 a week as a physio. Looks like he's due for a promotion. He wanted a lot of money, £1,100 a week. We got him down to $925, again on a 3-year contract. We did have to agree to pay him 40% more when we get promoted, but that is a future problem. Well, the boys are back in the building and the preseason has begun. We've got friendlies to play, preparations to make, training to partake in, and a bunch of job applications to sort through. So that's going to do it for the first episode of Lionhearted. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. We love the likes. And be sure to subscribe so you know when the next episode is going to drop, because when we come back, it's the start of the 3 Liga season against Dynamo Dresden. We start on the road, and then we kick off our DFB Pokal first round action. So we hope to see you then.